Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Now, as anyone who eats knows, food is getting very, very expensive. There's been sharp rises recently, even on staples, bread, mince. I mean, the prices are astronomical. And of course, this is going to have a knock on effect as we're moving into the Christmas season. People are planning their Christmas meals and maybe they're planning to not have the biggest turkey in the shop as Ebenezer Scrooge wanted. Maybe it'll just be a large chicken. The cost of turkeys is immense. Even a crown, you're talking but more money than a lot of people can comfortably afford. But Christmas is likely to cost a lot more for millions of families, and with this food price rise. Chocolates, cheese, of course, meat, as we mentioned, even vegetable, potatoes have gone up to 15%. The average food inflation officially is 4.9% at the moment. I think unofficially we know it's much higher, and certainly on certain products it's higher. They're reckoning it's going to hit 6% by the end of the year. Again, the official rate, not the actual rate. And of course, if Reeves does go ahead with the potential of 2% VAT on food in her budget, it could be hitting maybe 8%. And with a falling pound, and we import so much food, it could even be a 10% inflation on food. Who the hell can afford that? We're not even talking here about impoverishment. We're talking about people on good wages, £30,000 a year, struggling to feed their families. Experts predict that it's going to get worse. The latest figures underline a couple of rather grim budget statistics that are likely to happen. As I say, the falling pound doesn't help and the rise of inflation generally. But of course, then she's putting taxes on things that contain sugar, more price increases, and things like this. Staple goods, the basic sort of basket of staple goods is becoming increasingly unaffordable, let alone the nice stuff you like to get in for Christmas. It really is going to be a bit of a thin Christmas for an awful lot of people this year. She will be blamed because there is no one else to blame. This is Reeves' thin Christmas. She is the Grim Reaver, I'm afraid. Because inflation is still stubbornly above the 2% target the Bank of England have been charged to keep it at, and with a stagnating economy, we are absolutely in stagflation territory. The economy is effectively ground to a halt. In a 0.1% growth in a quarter, but the last month of that quarter actually was a 0.2% fall. So it goes to show that we are now in a very much downward spiral. And unlike Labour of the 1997 variety, things are not only going to get better, they're only going to get worse. Now, she says she's going to be targeting inflation, especially food inflation. No one knows how. She doesn't. She hasn't got a clue. But she's trying to dodge any questions about whether Labour will be putting up employees' national insurance contributions again, and whether the ones that she has put up has added to food inflation. It has. And of course, with rising energy costs constantly, the processing of the food itself becomes more expensive. Everything goes up. It has to be passed on. And unfortunately, the people who eat the food, us, have to pay the price. And it's okay if you're wealthy, but it ain't okay if you're poor. For a wealthy person, food is a much smaller percentage of their income. For someone on minimum wage, it represents a major chunk. And it's even worse if you've got children. I literally don't know what this outcome is going to be. I think people are going to start getting malnourished in this country, all thanks to Labour. And when they get malnourished, when people are hungry, it leads to revolutions, doesn't it? And what's her solution? Let them eat cake. Thanks a lot. Bye.